It is Monday, June the 27th, 2022. I am James. You are you. We are here to begin our broadcast week where, of course, on the information superhighway that at one point in time was known as the internet. How was your weekend? Did you spend it with someone that you cherish? Spend it with someone who's got a headlock on your heart? Did you snuggle on the couch? Did you take a walk while holding hands around one of Montreal's famous parks? Or did you engage in sexual intercourse during a hot and steamy evening? Because that is exactly what we went through this past weekend. I'll tell you what, I did not have any sexual intercourse with anyone, but I did, in fact, spend a portion of the afternoon yesterday. And I'll tell you what, it was hot. And it was steamy, but who did I spend it with? Well, a co-conspirator of the show, and we'll get to him in just a second. Folks, if you were not here last week, we had what we call around these parts a happening. What was the happening? Well, for an hour, we went through and broke down a variety of vintage Radio Shack commercials. What's Radio Shack? Are you too much of a youngster to remember? Are you knee-high to a grasshopper? At one point in time, was a very successful chain of electronic stores. What we did last week was go through the annals of time, not to be confused with the annals of time, to really discover and uncover what it meant to be a shopper of Radio Shack. And guess what? A 2-hour video, we got through 20 minutes of it. And I made the executive decision that we are going to dedicate every single Monday to getting through this video until perhaps no one watches this show anymore. I might be, on some level, injecting a lethal dose of poison into my own creation. Of course, we are talking about At Home. Now, last week, it was me and the one and only Dave Kaufman. Tonight, we have brought in a third party member. And we're going to be getting to both of these men in just a matter of moments. When I say a matter of moments, I mean right here, right now. Let's welcome Dave Kaufman and Marc Rowland to tonight's program. Dave, how was your weekend?
Hey, James. It was pretty good. How was your weekend?
Really, it went well. We spent a bit of yesterday together.
It was a hot day.
It was very hot. Yeah, you and I went to the mall.
Yeah, I had a splitting headache afterwards from dehydration, I think.
It was too hot.
Yeah. Too hot.
All right, Mark, how was your weekend?
It was great.
All right, you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, it was relaxing.
What part about it was relaxing?
I slept a lot.
All right.
Yeah, it was great. So, just turned the AC on and I snoozed.
All right. Well, Mark, there's a pressing question I'm curious to know about is, do you have any memories or experiences in shopping at Radio Shack, the line of electronic stores?
I'm a big fan of Radio Shack, so I'm glad I'm here today.
Oh, yeah. What part about it were you specifically a fan of?
Well, look at Dave's image, like the colors, the font. I liked the robots.
All right. So you enjoyed its vintage and retro feel.
Yeah. It sold little toy robots and things, so I was really...
Well, yeah, now that's something that we noticed last week, Dave. It was the plush toys that also featured a radio in their stomach.
Yeah, it seemed to be some sort of kid spying device that they were selling.
Yeah.
Is that funny
Mark,
to you?
Did you have one of those, and is that funny to you, Mark?
It's funny, because if you imagine the kids have like something important like to say or do.
I want to address something is that to the naked eye, Mark, it might look like you have a Zoom background where you are a little version of yourself in a giant room. But this is, in fact, not a scaled background. This is your surroundings right now.
This is where I am, yeah.
Now, to confirm this, can you tap on those cabinet drawers? It's shocking. You really look like you are a little man inside of an enormous bedroom.
Now, are you in an
This
enormous...
is the doorknob up here. This is the doorknob up here. So,
are you in an enormous room?
It feels that way.
And what's interesting, Dave, is you look like a giant who would bang your head on the door frame of Radio Shack.
Yeah.
Now, Mark, we've got a question coming in from a first timer in the chat.
Yeah.
Username Catherine.
Yeah.
Wants to know, is that a mic or your beard?
It's a little of both.
It's a little of both.
Yeah.
Now, I'd like to point out to Catherine that that is not a beard.
Now, would you like to expand on that, David?
Well, Mark's, I would say what James has is a beard, but Mark's shaved all along the sides into a goatee.
Yeah. Well, it's actually not shaved along the side. I just don't grow anything there.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's very, very sparse.
Well,
so it's what we call in the biz an ugly beard.
And what biz is that?
Yeah.
The beard biz.
Oh, the beard biz. Well, I'm part of the beard biz. It seems like you're co-opting beard business, but you're part of the goatee game.
The goatee gang?
I've always wanted to get into the beard biz, but you know.
Well, Dave, you were a mustache man.
I was a mustache man, but now, never a full beard biz boy.
We hope that answers Catherine's question. Subsequent question was.
I have a question before you get to this.
Yeah.
Is it Catherine or Catherine?
Catherine, Cafryn. Also wants to know if you dye your beard with Just for Men.
I've thought about it, but I don't.
All right. Well, we hope that answers your question, Catherine. Now, Dave, we started this journey last week. This video that we're going to continue to go through is 2 hours long. We got through 20 minutes of it.
Yeah.
So this is roughly, this is going to take 6 episodes to do.
I mean, it could take longer.
Yeah.
Sure, depending on when we get started tonight.
Sure, yeah.
And who knows? Like, we might have a lot to say, James.
That's true. Now, I wanted to recap some of the more memorable moments from last week's episode.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you.
So the one that sticks out to me is when I successfully identified an actor in a Radio Shack sort of instructional video, and the actor's name is none other than Luba Goy, who later went on to be a star of Mark. Do you know the show?
Royal Canadian Air Farce.
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah, big fan.
And I ID'd her within the first 20
Within
seconds.
moments.
Yeah.
Within moments.
And I'm surprised James didn't get that, being such a fan of Canadiana.
It happened so fast that I think along the way I would have got it, but in no way, shape, or form would I have made the prediction as fast as Dave did.
So Dave's like a savant.
But I said it, initially I said it like a joke, like, hey, that kind of looks like Luba Goy.
Yes.
But then it was. That was her breakthrough into media.
Yeah, and I want to touch on this, that it was I think it was a 30-minute instructional video of how to use a Radio Shack computer that was also, it was a scripted instructional video where the man was playing a bit of a dimwit.
What kind of computer was it?
I'm sure we'll see another commercial for it.
We saw a variety of commercials for the same computer with, fluctuating prices both up and down.
It was a very early computer, and you could get it for the low price of $600.
$5,000. $600.
At one point, it went down to $499.
It was it was one of the original personal computers.
I was under the impression that at that time that computers were much more expensive than that.
I mean, that's why people shopped at Radio Shack, Mark.
I guess so. Maybe this was like the cheap of it. It was probably equivalent to a calculator.
Well, coming in from the chat, we've got a very rare but often fun spam bot. We've got from Y Satvin by followers, primes, and viewers on MYSTRM. Then there's a space dot store followed by Catherine, quote, James already bought all of his viewers. That's right. I've purchased all 10 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10 cents a piece.
Once again, not bad viewership 2 years into this show for an episode that, again, is only really interesting to a handful of people.
People like Radio Shack, James.
The Radio Shack episode, is that what this is being called?
This one's called Radio Shack, a Retrospective Part 2.
Oh, okay.
All right, now before we get into it, Dave, any predictions of what you think we'll see tonight? I think we pierced from the 70s into the early 80s on these commercials. What are you expecting tonight?
I think we might travel a little bit back to the 70s for a bit. We're definitely starting with a Christmas commercial.
Nice.
And I'd like to see up until the point where I kind of start to recognize the toys.
Oh.
All right, now Mark, any predictions on your end?
Yeah, I'm wondering if we're going to see some like Ataris or some Apple IIes.
Well, I will say up to this point, the items have been isolated to Radio Shack branded items. At this point, by way of the commercials, they have not expanded into, oh, you can buy this race car from Tyco or anything like that. Now,
it might all be Radio Shack items. Okay,
it could be a Tandy Corporation, which we learned last week. And I want to get the audience engaged because the chat room was great last Monday. So I'm putting I didn't discuss this with David Allmark. I certainly didn't discuss it with you.
Yeah.
I want to see the chat fast and furious. And there's a prize for best jokes and wisecracks tonight. Dave, you ready to hear what the prize is?
I love a good wisecrack.
The prize is that the winner gets a kiss from you.
Wow.
And
maybe a Hershey's kiss.
Okay, so there we've reconfigured the rules. The winner of best chat comment gets a Hershey's kiss from you. Runner-up gets a lip kiss from me.
And
sexy.
What does third place get?
Third place gets to tussle their fingers through Mark's beard.
Wow.
Now, coming in from the chat, courtesy of Catherine, can I gift it to someone? We'll have to take that up with Devin, our production assistant. Dave, Mark, are we ready to get into the commercials tonight?
I have to verify something with you. Which sound should I be activating right now? Should I?
Oh, now for people watching the show, you want your sound all the way up. Mark, you want your sound on the Twitch player all the way down.
Down. That's done.
Yeah.
I'm going to be able to hear it?
You'll hear the sound of the commercial a little bit earlier than you'll see the video, but I believe that you'll be able to piece it together.
Okay, I'm ready and I'm looking.
Great. Let's begin as we officially emerge into part 2 of Radio Shack, a retrospective.
Radio Shack.
We get the kids some terrific gifts at Radio Shack. 4 exciting, safe, battery-powered toys. A sturdy fire chief's helmet with flashing light and siren. And 3 authentically styled vehicles. Easily programmed for 6 different driving maneuvers, including straight, zigzag, circle, or square. Those toys sure got their attention. They still have more packages to unwrap.
Exciting battery-powered toys. $6.99 and $7.99 each. Only at Radio Shack.
Wow.
I mean, the price is really good.
I love all of those toys, I gotta say.
Which one would you pick, Mark?
That's a really tough choice because I thought the gray car, or the silverish car, was very cool. But the coolest thing was probably the hat with the light on it.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what about the white silverish fireman's hat?
Yeah, that was very cool because you get a little light on it.
Now, you think you could swap that light out for a beer can?
Like a foam dome?
Yeah.
Just one beer can in the middle would be interesting. You'd be a little like a unicorn, but I wouldn't do it because I think you'd be ruining the helmet.
Probably correct.
Okay, so you want to maintain the integrity of the toy itself.
Yeah, I mean, you can just carry a beer can, Dave.
That's true. Now, if you had one of these cars, would you set it to line, circle, square, or zigzag?
I'd certainly try zigzag first.
Well, why not? Why not try all of them?
Yeah, I'm just saying which one I would try first. So the order would probably be zigzag first, maybe then a square, then I go to circle, and then be like, okay, what's line?
Well, Dave, what about you? Line or zigzag or circle or square?
I would go for square because I'd want to see how well the car performs at the edges.
Now, wait, hold on here. Now, Mark, are you drinking a beer right now?
I am, yeah.
Now, could you imagine if you were able to combine? Let's see that beer in frame, please. What type of beer are you drinking tonight?
It's a Kronbacher.
Now, could you imagine if you had a couple of those cars right now sitting alone in that giant bedroom?
It's actually a really small bedroom, just giant furniture.
James, we don't want to encourage Mark to drink and drive.
It's true. Yeah, fair enough. Dave, what about if we go on to the next commercial? Looks like another Christmas ad.
Another Christmas one.
Gosh. More Christmas.
Also, just before we go, these families have really nice trees and like very
gorgeous.
Christmassy environment.
Yeah, the mom was beautiful.
Oh.
Well, that's the thing I think we've kind of gone away from. We've gone away from these like really amazing decorations to basically shitty decorations.
That's why Mark votes conservative.
Cherchez-vous un cadeau vraiment excitant. Voici un véhicule tout-terrain, une voiture de course ou un char d'assaut télécommandé de Radio Shack. Cherchez-vous un cadeau passionnant dont on ne se lasse jamais. Pensez aux jeux électroniques Radio Shack. Jeux et véhicules vendus séparément. Piles non incluses. C'est que j'ai hâte parce que c'est live chez Radio Shack.
Oh.
Now, I have to say, I really like that the tank was slowly chasing the cars into the Christmas box.
That was cool.
Oh, so you think there's a story there?
Well, I think it was meant to imply play from the kids. It was also French too.
That was the first thing I noticed about it, is that it was French.
CanCon.
The very first thing I noticed was the arm, because we had that arm.
Which arm was that?
Well, they showed the name of it at the very end, so I don't remember, but it was something Max.
Now, I'll tell you what I noticed. This is the first two that we've seen, Dave, that was not Tandy Corporation. And I'm wondering if these are Canadian commercials now.
I think they might be, and I feel like they might go under a different umbrella when they're in Canada. But also, I noticed a toy called the Zack Man. Did you guys see that?
I didn't see that. Zack Man?
Let's go back.
Was it the mute for music?
Now, is this the first rewind that we're seeing? No, last week you saw the rewind when Radio Shack was mispronounced.
Yeah, so this is the Zack Man. You know
like a knockoff of Pac-Man, I am sure.
I guess, yeah. But
although you can't really see what's going on.
Let's press play on this.
Cherchez-vous un cadeau
It's like
passionnant.
a laser, like you're moving a little rocket ship and shooting lasers at stuff.
Are you?
Now,
I
noticed something else. This commercial also didn't feature a beautiful mother.
That's true. That's true.
It probably did. You just didn't, like, the hand belongs to it. No.
And Mark, this is the arm that you had?
Yeah, we had this thing.
What did it do?
You could use it to pick things up and move things around.
What did you pick up with it?
Besides a lady.
And toys, I'm sure.
So you used a toy to pick up other toys.
Yeah, that was the draw.
All right.
It was like a cleanup tool.
Move on to our next commercial.
It's called the Armatron.
Another breakthrough in computer price and performance from Radio Shack. The sale-priced TRS-80 Model 4. It's fast, easy to use, has a large display, and is compatible with thousands of programs. And now at $200 off, Model 4's built-in features, power, and versatility give you the most for your money. The sale-priced TRS-80 Model 4 from $799 to $1999. Only at Radio Shack and Radio Shack Computer Centers, the computer experts.
Yeah, so see that thing was like $2,000.
So that was the Model 4. The ones we were looking at earlier, I believe, was the TRS-80, but the earlier models. And those, those ranged from $499 to $699.
But once again, no Tandy Corporation. Another thing I noticed, Dave, is I'm not sure these videos are configured, But on the Twitch channel, they're all backwards.
Yeah.
They're backwards.
They're backwards tonight. Now, I don't know if that was something Radio Shack did or you're doing.
It might be Radio Shack. Hold on, let me see if I can fix that.
And Catherine in the chat has belittled us by writing in backwards in terms of, because we're noticing that the pricing on the videos backwards, and now we've been belittled. Now, while Dave looks at that, Mark, a couple of things to touch on.
Yeah,
from the chat.
I'm seeing that I'm being
you've been called out.
Caillou
You've
with
been
a
compared
beard.
to Caillou with a fake beard, and people are asking why you're so small.
Yeah.
Now, we touched on that at the beginning of the episode. This is not a Zoom background. Your furniture is enormous. Once again, can you show us touching the drawer to show that this is not a trick of eye and not some type of filter?
Why? I just got to keep touching the drawers and the knobs?
Yes.
Why is this backwards?
Touch
Well,
the
how
knob
often-
a little bit.
Okay, so there we go.
Now, the chat is all over you, Mark. High score run, legendary viewer. Quote,
Yeah.
Mark's beard is drawn on. You must have used a thick Sharpie for this one.
Oh, I feel like maybe, people are coming after me.
Yeah, well, it's been a while since you've been on the show.
Been a while.
Yeah.
It has been a while.
It's been a while.
I've been keeping my distance.
Now, before we move on, I would like to say that I think Aaron Lewis of Stains, It's Been a While, has really become part of at-home lore.
Well, that's because it's part of, I think, James' lore.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. Coming in from the chat, Mark, why are you red like a lobster?
Well, I think it has to do, well, it's two things. One, I have a rosy disposition, but also...
Is that room warm?
Yes. That's why, like, I'm very uncomfortable right now.
Right.
Yeah. I didn't want to be in this room.
In the giant room.
I didn't want to be in this room, but this is the only place I can get my internet to
Now,
work.
I will say that Dave has corrected the problem. The person that Catherine referred to as a pervert Santa is now facing us normally. Dave, let's hit play on this Christmas ad.
Sure, Mark. Make sure you have a bit of water.
Yeah, you're
I
getting
don't like
dehydrated
water.
drinking all those beers.
No, I'm fine.
It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas.
I
Ooh,
just
nice
found
voice.
the greatest present for Mom and Dad. I'm trying it out right now. Yes, it's a real neat one-piece phone. It memorizes 10 phone numbers, hangs up when you put it down, has a 16-foot cord, and it was on sale for only $19.95. It'd be great in Dad's workshop. Of course, they could always keep it in my room.
The 10 memory phone on sale for $19.95. Only at Radio Shack.
Now,
Oh,
one of the
man.
big features is that it hangs up when you put it down.
That's great. That's a great feature. I got to hear that guy's voice again.
Guy. Oh.
Not the guy. There's two people. There were two voices.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
there was the little girl who
Yeah.
talked like this.
She seemed pretty old for a little girl.
Yeah, and
He was-
I resent something that's coming in from the chat right now. Quote, that lady is too young for you, James. I did not present any type of attraction to this young woman.
Yeah, but people just made assumptions.
Yeah, which is rare because usually people assume things to be the opposite direction at an advanced age.
No, but this is an adult pretending to be a teen, obviously.
Yeah.
It was a 16-foot cord, and it was on sale for only $19.95. It'd be great in
Yeah,
Dad's
Mark, that's a
workshop.
woman.
Of course, they could always keep it in my room.
The 10 memory phone on sale for $19.95. Only at Radio Shack.
Can I just say that was a great voiceover?
Yeah,
We're back to
That-
being a Tandy corporation.
that
Yeah.
voiceover was like the brown note.
Now,
I could keep it in my room.
No, but she was kind of doing sort of like I can keep it in my room. She was sort of doing a bit of an accent too.
What accent was that, Mark?
To me it reminded me of what's the name of there's like a character from Little Shop of Horrors. She talks in a very high pitched voice, and she sings, and the actress sings the song "Suddenly Seymour." Her voice reminded me of that.
Well, I want to jump in here. Do we think that these commercials are now coming out of order chronologically, the opposite of chronological order, because now we're back to a Tandy Corporation?
I feel like they've grouped the Christmas episodes. Episodes.
These are tiny episodes.
This is a serial show.
Yeah, we're binge watching Radio Shack right now.
I just really like that guy's voice.
Yeah, can you impersonate it, Mark?
No, I don't think I can.
It's very difficult.
Yes. He's got a lot of vibration. It's a very low.
Okay, let's listen one more time.
Yeah, then I'm
The
going to
10 memory phone on sale for $19.95 only at Radio Shack.
Okay, let's all try it.
The 10 memory foam available at Radio Shack.
The 10 memory phone available at Radio Shack.
Pretty good.
The 10 memory phone available at Radio Shack.
Dave, you nailed it.
Yeah.
You ran away with that one. Dave,
thank you, Dave.
You've officially won the first kiss of the night. So, Dave, you'll be receiving a kiss from me at some point soon.
From you?
Yes.
I thought I was giving the Hershey's kisses.
Oh, hold on. I've just received confirmation, Dave, you get to eat your own Hershey's kiss.
Ooh, I get to have a little snack after the show. Mark, is your eye okay?
It's good. I'm just thinking about...
Looks red.
Everything looks red because it got this orange shirt and the lighting is funky.
Funky.
I've got chips in another room.
Poker or potato?
Potato. Lay's.
Now, coming in from the chat, courtesy of Catherine, quote, have you guys done advice episodes for anonymous callers? This viewer's already checked out of the Radio Shack episode, asking about other episodes.
No, I think she likes what she sees, and she wants to know if there's more where that came from.
Let's go to the next commercial.
All right.
Armatron is out of this world, Mason. Over? Roger. Here comes Ironclaw.
There it is.
That?
The Armatron.
Avoid. Prepare for battle.
Wow.
Where on earth did you get these super space toys? At Radio Shack, they brought out-of-this-world fun at down-to-earth prices. And a complete selection of Earth Games vehicles, each sold separately, batteries not included. Only at Radio Shack. Over?
That's a huge jump
Roger.
in price. $6.95 to $69.95.
Yeah. Absolutely. They had that hat again.
It was also a Canadian commercial. The astronauts had the Canadian maple leaf on their helmets.
Yeah.
I liked how much camaraderie those two kids had together.
Yeah, now Mark, did you ever have a playful friend like that where you guys could play astronaut?
Well, yeah, I had a lot of good friends back in the day. That was the thing about the 80s is kids were really good friends.
Yeah. Did you have a Zoid that you could play with? With one of your friends, they brought a Zoid and you brought the Armatron and you played together?
Yeah, you gotta have a Zoid.
Now, this was by far, I think, the nerdiest commercial that we've seen so far, and we saw some nerdy ones last week.
This one is so far my favorite.
Until this next one.
A Christmas gift from Radio Shack.
Before Christmas, they claimed they were bored. But then I found Radio Shack's incredible selection of electronic games. He's rescuing the fair maiden with the Kingman game. She's exploring dangerous new worlds with Zackman. And with the Alien Chase game, he can do space battle with an opponent or by himself. There are more gifts if anyone's bored. I won!
Fascinating electronic games from $7.95 to $59.95 only at Radio Shack.
Now, I'm curious about the word choice of fascinating toys and games. Fascinating doesn't sound exciting to me.
Why not?
It sounds like something that should be for like learning toys, like the Leapfrog line of toys. Fascinating to me doesn't inspire fun with toys.
Well, I think they were probably struggling to come up with the right adjectives for electronic toys.
Well, I just looked up fascinating in the thesaurus, and here are some adjectives they could have used. Engrossing, captivating, absorbing, interesting, and enchanting.
No, fascinating is the best of all.
I think captivating is more in line with a toy.
Captivating you use for like a book or like a painting. Oh, this painting is captivating.
Now, coming in from the chat from Catherine, we've got, quote, they're pandering to smart rich people. I think that there's some truth behind that.
Yes, I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look at the home.
Look, if you can afford a Zach Man, you're doing pretty well.
I gotta say those video games look pretty bogus though.
Now, would you have played those games at the time though, Mark?
I would have played it briefly.
So you would have thought it stunk, maybe.
Well, I mean, there's only so much fun I think you can have.
Dave, there's something I want you to do right now. I want you to see if you can find a Zach Man online that we can purchase. And then Mark is going to play it live on the air.
I want to see if I can maybe find a clip of someone playing the Zach Man.
So we're all looking for stuff. James, what are you going to be looking for?
I'm looking for the person that I'm going to hand out my next kiss to.
What do you think? Oh, here we go. There's a review. I got a review.
Now, Mark, let's hear this review on the Zach Man, which is a terrible video game console handheld.
Well, this is a video review, so what?
Oh, we don't have time for that, Dave. Let's go to you.
So for $120, you can get a vintage Zach Man. Nice used condition, but only works with power plugged in. Does not work with batteries.
It's like Mark's computer.
Looks to be good condition for age. This item came from an estate sale, so the original owner of the Zach Man probably passed away.
Oh.
So we do not personally know its history. Our knowledge of this type of item is low, so we took many photos. You've got to make 3 easy payments, and it'll ship to any U.S. state.
So you're going to make 3 easy payments on a Zach Man that belonged to a dead person.
You got to take out a line of credit to buy a Zach Man.
Mark, are you willing to do that tonight?
What's that?
Make 3 easy payments to purchase this Zach Man.
No, I'm just reading the review though, and or someone else said, because there was a question here.
Is it on
saying,
Kotaku?
what was your most favorite buy from Radio Shack? And one person, Vinyl Master, said my most favorite thing ever was a handheld Zach Man game they got for Christmas. So his parents were certainly yeah.
Okay, now I want to say something. I want to make a pledge on this show right now, because some people don't know that we perform comedy of the improv variety. I at some point,
James, wait. If you're gonna make a pledge, you got to put your hand over your heart.
I pledge that with the time remaining in this calendar year of 2022, at some point, if you and Mark are in a show together, I will force you to do a scene titled Zach Man versus Vinyl Master.
Shotgun playing Zach Man.
Nice.
Okay.
Now, well, Dave, how do you think Zach Man would sound? Grab your mic for this one.
I'm the Zach Man.
Now, Mark, what do you think Vinyl Master sounds like?
I'm the Vinyl Master. All right.
Yeah, the winner of this battle gets to keep their voice.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next commercial.
Is my shirt doing funky things?
Yeah, your shirt's been moving around.
Very funky.
Yeah.
Coming in from the chat, courtesy of the real Andrew Mackay quote, Dave's shirt looks like he could be Zach Man. Now I'm wondering if the character easy, you got a license for that thing?
But are you seeing this?
Yeah.
Yeah, who cares? Let's go to the next clip.
Sorry, I've lost my cursor. There it is.
Coco 2's got personality, lots of practicality, fun, it's sensational, learn it's educational. Coco 2's expandable, so easily commendable. It's programmable, so term exam grammable. Just you and Coco 2 do what you want to do.
Coco 2, the color computer with personality from Radio Shack. Sale price for Christmas giving from $149.95.
Radio Shack's Coco 2, do what you want to do. Just you and Coco 2.
Great deal.
Yeah.
$40 off. And I also want to throw in that I'm going to add a character to this upcoming scene named Coco 2.
Great jingle, too. I feel like this is the first jingle that we've heard.
No, I think there's been a couple of jingles, but I will say this so far has been the most memorable of them.
I feel like it's the first jingle related to a specific product, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. I was intrigued to see the
intrigued or fascinated.
Wait, I'm just gonna pause and read from the chat that Mark looks like a sad Caillou. And,
I keep being
James, please let him get his chips.
Yeah, Mark, do you want your chips?
Well, yeah.
All right, so Mark, let's take a break, and I want you to go get your chips.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna eat them because they're gonna make noise. You know that.
Yep.
All right, I'll be back.
All right. You know, he really is incredibly red.
He's very red. I wonder if he's nervous to be on the show.
Well, I mean, we set quite a precedent last week, and I will say that I think up to this point we've gotten through fewer commercials than last week at the point that we're at, because it's already 9:45.
We've made it through 3 minutes of the video. But you know, we got plenty of time.
Now, do you have any projections on how far we're going to make it through tonight's video portion?
I think we're going to make it to the 30-minute mark.
No, but I mean, how many more minutes do you think?
7 more minutes of video. I think
7 more minutes. All right. All right, Mark, you've got your chips.
Welcome back to the show, Mark.
Thank you very much. What happened while I was gone?
We were talking about how we've only gotten through 3 minutes of the video. So let's get to the next commercial.
All right.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Get your snacks ready, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know what
It's a
snacks
Radio Shack Merry Christmas.
This year, I needed to give a real family pleaser.
Honey, please help me with this budget.
Sounds sexual.
How about
Oops. Oh, no. I lost the video. Hold on.
a game, Dad? Please.
And I found it. Radio Shack's Color Computer 2. On sale for just $99.95. It entertains, educates, manages. It's expandable and affordable. Now that really pleases me.
Wow.
The Color Computer 2. Sale price for Christmas. Only at Radio Shack.
So they dropped the price.
Yeah, prices were amazing.
Yeah, $99, and I guess that the color computer is the code word was the Coco 2.
Exactly.
Coco
I didn't
2.
realize that, but I also noticed that the TV is not included in this. It said it in small font at the bottom. So you have
the TV or the monitor.
The monitor is you have to use. Now it looked to me like you take your own TV and you just use the sort of base part that looks like a keyboard, and that's the computer, and you connect that to your TV, and that makes up the whole Coco 2. So you need a color TV on your own, and then for extra $100 you can buy this Coco 2 and attach it to your TV.
But at the time, I mean, look, this is clearly the mid '80s. Probably still a very good deal.
I think it's a great deal. I'd buy one for that price today. In fact, I'm going to look for one right now.
All right. Now, Mark, did you ever use a computer such as this or something like this?
Yeah, Commodore 64.
Now, how do you think it would match up against the Coco 2?
I think it's probably a little, I don't know, I imagine it's a little better. But
now, I remember the advertisements for the Commodore on the Canadian Tire Christmas commercials.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look, I can get one today for $60.
So cheaper than a Zachman.
Cheaper than a Zachman, yeah.
Wow. But I guess you're not going
to... The deals are still great on the Coco 2.
Yeah.
All right, should we check out the next one?
I'd love to. We got some legs here.
Me voici enfin arrivé sur la planète Terre. Mais comment trouver un magasin Radio Shack? Je dois rapporter avec moi des mini-disques d'ordinateur très importants pour les habitants de ma planète. Mode télétran. Ah, des mini-disques d'ordinateur. Un rabais de 28 à 39% sur les mini-disques de 3,5, 5 écarts et 8 pouces. En solde jusqu'au 31 octobre. Vite, je dois me rendre chez Radio Shack. Et l'ami, où est le magasin Radio Shack le plus près? Hé, tu parles d'un monde.
Now, Now, Dave, earlier today, you and I were talking about how the show needs a mascot. I think that robot should be the show's mascot.
I think we could. Maybe hire that robot. I kind of found that robot looked like you, Mark, a little bit.
Now, coming in from the chat from the real Andrew Mackay, that robot now works for the FLQ. That right now is in pole position for chat remark of the night.
Yeah, that deserves a kiss from Dave.
Yeah, so Andrew, you've won a Hershey's Kiss. Now, Dave, also coming into the chat from High Score Run, fire the tech and hire that robot, so your job's on the line tonight.
I mean, look, in the future, all of our jobs are going to be replaced by robots, so...
What do we think about this little French robot?
Be the first of many.
Well, this robot was exactly what I was talking about.
Go on.
On top of the show. This was the thing that I loved most about Radio Shack was the robots.
Now, what did you love so much about that robot?
I really wanted it. I had a robot that was super, super simple. So I think it would just go forwards, and then if it hit a wall, it would back up and then turn and go another way.
This
So it
one
didn't
went in zigzags and squares?
Yeah. It was, well, straight lines and squares.
James, did you ever want a robot when you were a kid?
No.
It's the dawn of a new era in microcomputer technology. The Tandy TRS-80 Model 2000 personal computer from Radio Shack, designed to meet your personal computing needs. It's faster, with higher resolution, more storage, and greater expandability than IBM's PC. Its ultra-high performance gives you the leading edge of Radio Shack's computer technology. The Tandy TRS-80 Model 2000 personal computer, the dawn of a new era in personal computing.
Wow.
Huge.
Look at the price.
Huge
Look at the price.
$3,000, and this is the first Tandy branded item as far as I can remember, Dave.
That's true, for sure. It's the first time they're advertising their own brand, like, as the selling point. Now, the price was expensive, but you have to remember that we're going from the Model 4 to the Model 2000.
And they're also directly, they threw shots towards IBM, so they're in the hunt now.
Yeah, they're in the hunt. This is all part of the great computer race wars. I mean, the great computer race. / wars. It wasn't a race war. As far as I know.
Yeah.
And they use their terminology is very Terminator-like. It's all like TRS-80. Makes me feel like it's, you know, what was the name of the company that made the T9000?
Well, there was Skynet and Cyberdyne Systems.
No, Cyberdyne.
Makes me think of Cyberdyne Systems.
Well,
now coming in from the chat,
imitated life.
We've got a conversion right here from Catherine. 3,000 in 1985 is 7,200 in 2020.
Yeah. It was expensive.
It's very expensive, yeah.
Very expensive.
And,
comes at a deal.
Comes at a deal, yeah.
So, but what's how come there was like a computer that was $150, and then they're like, oh, but this one's $3,000? That's crazy.
Well, they're probably trying
corporation product.
They're probably trying to, you know, it's one of those things when you can buy an iPhone, you can buy the SE, or you can buy the 13 or whatever.
But that's an increase in like of 20 times.
Well, it's probably all that more powerful, you know. I spent a good penny on my computer, but you can buy. I almost spent probably. I don't want to get into the details, but
Dave, you brought it up.
I mean,
give us a ballpark.
Yeah.
Well,
was it more than this Tandy computer?
No, it's about half the price of the Tandy computer. But you know, those are today's prices.
You're right.
Moore's Law, etc. I could have spent more too. I didn't.
Now I want to move on to the next commercial because I think I see Santa, and we know that Christmas can never come too early for James.
Merry Christmas.
Honey, this is just like the PC I have at the office.
It's a Seinfeld episode.
The PC-compatible Tandy 1000, just $9.99, with a Christmas bonus color monitor. Save $300.
So,
As soon as I finish our budget, sweetheart.
budget.
It comes with its own software
My report's due tomorrow, Dad.
and has plenty of home uses.
Don't stay too late at the office, dear.
The Tandy 1000 with color monitor Christmas bonus, only at Radio Shack.
I really like the end of that commercial. The dad staying up late in the dark to play video games.
I liked it. It was like a little sitcom they had going on there in that household.
He kind of reminded me of Will Ferrell.
Reminded me a bit of Paul Reiser.
I was going to say, Mad About You. He reminded me of Paul Reiser as well. And his wife, would shame him into doing his chores instead of being on the computer. Always something better to do, but that man,
Now, on the subject of Mad About You, one of the better TV theme songs, I think.
I agree.
Don't know why.
Well,
I love you like
I
I do.
love you like I do. Tell me who.
Okay. Now, do you think that Frasier kind of
Tell me
copied
all
Mad
your
About You?
secrets and I'll tell you most of mine. They say nobody's perfect, but that's really true this time.
Hello?
Yep.
Yeah, we can hear you.
You think Frasier copied Mad About You?
In what sense?
It seems like a very similar style, but just kind of like
It's true. Mad About You was about, it took place in Seattle, and it was about a radio host therapist.
I'm talking about the theme song, Dave.
No, I would say that they're different.
They're much... Oh, baby, I hear the blues are calling. Tossed salads and scrambled eggs. Mercy.
I don't have the answer. I don't have a prayer. All I have is you, so darling, help me understand what we do.
Maybe I hear you get confused, but
maybe Frasier was just
I got
sort of
you,
like
babe. Now I don't
going
know what
back
to do
to
with
sort of
those
like
tossed
an older
salads and
time
scrambled
where there was just
eggs.
one singer. If you think about Family Ties, there was that sort of like soulful.
They call it again.
Alan Thicke was responsible for a lot of TV theme songs. Now, this is a great subject for a future episode. Best TV theme songs debate.
Yeah.
Now, Alan Thicke, most known for being the father of Robin Thicke.
Yep.
Who made that song Blurred Lines right before he would have been canceled for that same song.
Yeah. Well, we don't want to get too controversial, so we better go on to another commercial.
Absolutely not. Let's check out this next commercial.
Introducing a computer that can change the way you work. The new Tandy 1000, complete with DeskMate software for easy-to-use word processing, filing, worksheets, scheduling, communications. Brought to you by Tandy, clearly superior for service, support, and software. The Tandy 1000, available at Radio Shack computer centers, and so affordable. Tandy technology, service, and support are clearly superior.
Buy my computer.
Whoa. We'll wait for that in the next one.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Charlie Chaplin. Now, would you go back to just using paper rather than using computers?
Well, I guess it depends on the situation. I write on paper almost on a daily basis.
Yeah, what are the circumstances?
Well, you saw that guy's desk and he had paper all over his desk, and then it's like, whoa, now life is so much better. You get rid of all that paper. I feel like they had this view of the future where there'd be no paper and just computers, and they were wrong. We still use so much paper. Everything's still a mess.
For now.
For now, you think we're eventually going to move totally away from paper?
Well, they have these new books where it's like it's like almost like fake paper. You write on it with a thing, but it's digital. But it feels like paper.
It feels like paper?
Well, it doesn't feel like paper.
I'm not familiar with this product.
But
is it a Tandy Corp product?
It's not a Tandy Corp product. It's a different product.
I want to see this Charlie Chaplin commercial.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
And look, it looks like they're going to do some slander here.
Okay, let's rewind.
Oh, because of the IBM. Oh, wow.
Rewind.
Service and support are clearly superior.
Buy my computer.
Hey, buy my computer.
No, buy my computer.
There's one way to cut through today's computer clutter.
Apple
Compare other business computers with Radio Shack's Tandy TRS-80 Model 2000. Judge the ease of operation, speed, graphics, software, and price. Compare. I believe your informed buying decision will be the Tandy 2000 personal computer.
See it during September at $300 off. We invite comparison.
I have to say, I'm super convinced by these ads.
They shat on the Apple II and on the IBM. Sorry, James.
And I don't even think they use the logo for the Apple guy. They use a Scottish man chewing on an apple like a slob. And I will say that I like that the spokesperson turned and took his glasses off.
Yeah.
He's great.
Like, that guy was so convincing. Yeah.
This guy could sell. He could sell you tissues at a funeral.
I think that I'm gonna take devil's advocate here. He's a little too serious, I think.
Yeah.
It feels like I'm watching commercials that would have been within RoboCop.
But back then, computers were a serious business.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's not like now where you can, go on PokerStars.net or adult websites.
I love PokerStars.
Answer this though, guys. Answer this.
What?
Ask it.
Answer this, okay? Why was Charlie? Why? Okay, just be ready to answer.
I'm ready.
Go.
What are we answering?
3, 2,
a question.
1.
A question. I guess.
Go.
Question
You're gonna
time.
answer the question. Yeah.
Lift off.
Okay. So answer this. Answer this.
Let's
Why was Charlie Chaplin used to represent IBM?
It's a great question.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
Too bad it didn't come out sooner.
The maybe because Charlie Chaplin is from kind of like the black and white ages, and they're trying to say that this computer it's old, kind of a dusty fuddy-duddy computer.
It's the perfect answer. I would have said the same thing.
Love it.
A bit of an entertainer.
Yeah, maybe it's all fluff, no substance. All sizzle, no steak.
Yeah, maybe.
Radio Shack's word processing system's a real time saver, JT.
Time is money, Fletcher.
Here's a Model 4 computer, Daisy Wheel 2 printer, and word processing software.
Sounds expensive.
Radio Shack's Model 4 can be used for accounting or electronic filing.
Versatile, but...
Only $4,800, JT. We save $1,000.
I like that price.
I knew you would.
Now I've got a question.
I like that price.
Yeah.
Now I don't want to make things political here.
Yeah.
But you think they were using a stereotypical Jewish guy for the businessman in that commercial?
I did not get that impression.
No. I felt a little bit that.
Were you offended?
Not offended. I just thought it was an interesting choice. Back then you could do anything. It's not like today.
But no. That guy was just a cheap boss.
Okay.
Now, what do we think about his performance? And I will say,
I loved it.
Do you think the actor is still with us?
No.
I'm going to say he's passed on to the Radio Shack in the sky.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say that he kind of played it off like a little Scroogey.
Yes.
But a positive Scrooge.
Yeah, a bit of a penny pincher.
Yeah.
A penny pinching skeptic.
Penny pinching.
I think they must have really good mics
skeptic.
or something, or maybe the way that they process the sound, because his voice also sounded great. Like,
yeah,
I like that. Like the just the quality of the vibration.
It feels like theater acting almost, like an old.
It does.
I'm going to give him I'm awarding him a kiss.
Oh gosh.
In principle.
You should find his grave and kiss his grave.
Well, that'll be next week's episode as we try to locate that actor's grave, and I give it little kisses.
Little tiny pecks.
Yeah.
All right, next.
4 personal computer is priced lower than ever, complete with 2 disk drives. It's fast, easy to use, has a large display, and is compatible with thousands of programs. And at $700 off the original $1999, it's ideally priced for business or personal use. The TRS-80 Model 4, now at its new low price of $12.99, only at Radio Shack and Radio Shack Computer Centers. The computer...
Well, it's going down in price.
But that's the Model 4. So all of these computers are the TRS-80, and it just depends what model you're picking?
I guess so. I'm just noticing in the chat that people are really ogling all the women in the advertisements.
Makes me sick.
Well, look, I'll say this. Last Monday, it was a feisty chat. We know that, people are oftentimes excited by provocative things. So I'm not going to take it out on the audience.
I will.
Well, I'm going to say it's not super provocative. It's almost the opposite. But maybe
maybe the innocence of it is what is provocative.
Yeah, maybe.
And you also know that that person looks a lot different these days.
Oh, that's what turns you on?
Yeah. I like to picture what she looks like now.
Yeah, you're like, oh, you changed so much.
Yeah.
Now, not a lot of variety tonight in the commercials that I've noticed so far.
A lot of computer, a lot of TRS-80.
Yeah. A blend of that and Christmas. Let's go to the next one.
Every Christmas, Santa's little helpers go shopping at Radio Shack. For unique gift ideas, it's Radio Shack.
I thought that one was fun, and they added levity. The voiceover is a little chilling.
Voiceover was chilling.
It was creepy, but yeah.
Also, they weren't shopping at all. They were stealing from that Radio Shack.
Well, I'll tell you, my interpretation was that they were Radio Shack elves.
Yeah. They didn't leave with anything. They were just testing it, I think.
They were playing around.
Yeah.
You guys are so naive.
Now, what's the name of that arm toy again, Mark?
Isn't it the Armatron?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Armatron was featured in that commercial as well.
Mark, if you had an Armatron right now, would you use it to take chips out of your bag and place them in your mouth?
Yes, I definitely would.
That'd be something.
Now, before we move on, for people who are just watching, this is not a Zoom background that Mark has put onto his frame. Mark, can you touch the drawers a little bit to prove that this is a giant room? And the door as well. Awesome. Let's go to the next one.
Now, you might think because we just watched a commercial with all tiny little elves, and now we're seeing tiny little Mark, that that's the theme of the show, but it's not. The theme of the show is Radio Shack commercials.
A retrospective part 2.
Radio Shack Merry Christmas. I solved all my gift problems at Radio Shack's Christmas electronics sale. Got my son two-way bass reflex speakers, half price for only $39.95 each. For my daughter, a cordless telephone, on sale $69.95. I got my wife a dual alarm clock radio, sale price $34.95. I even got myself a full-size solar calculator with memory, on sale only $8.88. Super sale.
A Christmas electronics sale, only at
November 1983.
So this guy bought himself a calculator for Christmas?
Well, it looks like he ran out of money buying presents for his kids, but I will say that the speakers were really reasonably priced. $40.
Great price for speakers.
Yeah, $40 though.
Each one.
Catherine could do the exchange for us on that because $40.
Yeah, let us know, Catherine, what the exchange is. That
It's going to be over 80.
It looked like it was that commercial looked to me like the later 80s. I'll say anywhere in between 87 and 89.
And I recognize that alarm clock. I feel like that was a very common alarm clock.
Yeah, everybody had
the calculator too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
40 is 90, so those speakers were $90 each, which is still pretty reasonable.
Still a good deal for speakers.
Yeah.
And what about the calculator? It was $8 then. How much is that calculator now?
Well, if 40 is 90, then 8 must be
96.
20.
All right.
Oh, 96. So that ruins my math. Let's
And that calculator you could probably get for cheaper these days.
Yeah.
That's a shit calculator.
a Christmas electronics sale, only at
November 1983. Tandy presents the Model 2000, superior in technology. October 1984. Tandy presents the Model 1200, superior in value. And now, Tandy presents the Model 1000, superior in price performance. 3 exciting MS-DOS computers brought to you by Tandy. Clearly superior in technology, support, and service. Available at Radio Shack Computer Centers for computer experts.
Now, Dave, last week we saw a lot of the same spokespeople. I think we saw 2 different guys. We're seeing our 3rd Radio Shack guy.
This guy he probably got a nice paycheck for doing all these commercials.
For sure.
He had a Trump power suit on too with the red tie.
Yeah.
He's very serious. Very serious. I prefer the commercials that have a bit of levity. I like the ones with families.
I do. I agree with that. But I wouldn't want to mess around with this guy.
If I was I was a parent and I'm living in the 80s, I'm like, I really want a computer that's going to be good for my business, but also for the kids. I think I'd listen to this ad.
Yeah, he seems like I would say a pretty by the book, straight laced character.
Well, I think that's the idea, and it feels like a very different style of ad that you don't really see anymore, which is like, we are superior. We're like, it's just saying we're best in this and best in that, and it's not giving you anything else.
It's almost like an orientation video if you began to work for Tandy.
Yeah. Commercials these days would just be a lady showing her breasts, and then she'd be like, at the end, it'd be like, computers.
Yeah, or it'd be like a car driving through the woods, and there'd be a wolf.
And then at the end, it'd be like, computer.
Yeah. I like that it's always the same Santa Claus shot of him looking at you, and then like, let's look at the ad.
It's like
they recycled that shot many times for a variety of items.
Yeah, we clearly caught
I like it a
Santa
lot.
looking at porno on his computer.
That didn't exist at the time, Dave.
Porno didn't exist?
Not on computers.
How do you know?
I tried, dude.
All right, there you go. That answer works for me.
Merry Christmas.
Hey, son, looks like your friend's got radio-controlled toys for Christmas, too. Billy, need some help with your 4x4 off-roader?
No thanks, Mr. Miller.
Know how to work the pincers on your Battlefield, Ernie?
Sure it is.
How about your robot, Tim?
Under control, sir. Hey, Dad, can you help me with my Porsche?
Thought you might need me, son.
Radio-controlled toys from $11.95 to $59.95. Only at Radio Shack.
So we started the night with some remote control cars, and we're back to that. First ever appearance from Hillbillies.
Well, that accent, I hadn't heard that accent yet.
But they were in sort of a cold climate because he was wearing a toque.
No snow, all dirt, and one kid was in a tube.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on. I guess maybe it was, that could be winter in America, right?
We don't want to make assumptions. We don't want to make assumptions about what's going on in the States.
What, it could be the summer?
Well, they were in toques. They could be hill people.
Hill people.
It's cold in the evening.
That's true. It's hot in the day, but it's cold in the evening, but it was the day. The sun was out.
Yeah, but they were celebrating Christmas.
That's true.
So that's why it's.
I'll tell you what, this commercial's got more holes than a slice of Swiss cheese.
No, there's no holes. It's all reasonable.
And you think that dad was annoying all the kids? I feel like if my friend's dad came up to me while I was playing with my toys, I'd be annoyed.
Yeah, Mr. Miller?
Yeah. Type
now,
of guy you call the cops
chat,
on.
courtesy of Naive Adventures.
Yeah.
The dad looks like Dave.
I disagree.
That feels pointed.
He kind of reminded me of like the McKenzie brothers, like Doug and Bob McKenzie.
Yeah, I like that you said Doug and Bob. It's usually Bob and Doug.
Well, I say them in order of preference.
Got it. Well, that makes sense. Checks out.
It makes sense.
Every Christmas, Santa's little helpers go shopping at Radio Shack.
These guys again.
Saw this.
Hold on, there might be a difference.
No.
Could be different toys.
They've got
different
long
commercial.
eyebrows.
The different commercial.
I want to have a bag of gold.
Skip it. Handle it.
This is the extended cut. Director's cut.
It's Radio Shack.
You notice they talk
that was a different commercial.
Here's another one.
They talk like Ewoks.
They do. What's this
What
bag
do
of
gremlins
gold?
sound like? The gremlins sound like this? What's with these feet? The feet are really disturbing me.
See, this is a different commercial. The one that we're watching now was the original one that we saw. In the previous one, there was a little car that drove into a stocking. That didn't feature this one.
I agree with that.
So is the game Find the Difference?
Yeah, it's like what you get in the newspaper.
Yeah.
That means I win, which means I get to receive a kiss tonight.
Okay.
Every Christmas.
Same one.
Santa's little elves go
Hold on, we have to
shopping at
spot the
Radio
difference.
Shack.
Spot the difference. So far, that's new.
Okay, so looking around. Okay, get it. Oh, computer, that's new, isn't it?
Computer is different. Snoopy? The gold coins have been in all.
Color Computer 2, a unique
That's
device
different. That's different.
from Radio Shack.
A 64K color computer, okay.
So the next one's going to be different.
Oh, this guy again.
But there were a few
The
differences there.
Tandy computer.
Do you want to just move on to the
Clearly
next
superior.
thing, or do you want to discuss the differences?
Well, I mean, I really liked all the versions, and I thought the voiceover is still creepy. It's very disturbing sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could also be the opening voice for a horror movie trailer.
Yeah, like Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, how are the chips, Mark?
I like them.
Yesterday, buying an IBM XT was a good business decision. But today, the Tandy 1200 from Radio Shack can give you the same power and performance for about half the price. The 1200 runs the same IBM XT compatible software, is backed by a company committed to service and support. And the Tandy 1200 costs about half as much. Tandy, clearly superior. In business for business. Only at Radio Shack Computer Center.
Yeah, I got a question for you guys.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a question for you guys to answer here. So,
Ask it.
Go for it, man.
yeah.
3, 2, 1.
When you're ready.
We're ready.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ask your question.
Yeah. Because I want to ask it, and I want you guys to give me an answer. So
we're waiting for it. So whenever you're ready.
Yeah.
We're teed up.
Bring it on.
Let's hear it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
You guys are ready?
We're ready.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys think those ads are bullshit?
What do you
Can
mean?
Expand on that question.
Yeah. Do you think?
I want to chime in here, and Mark looks even smaller now. Go for it, Mark.
Yeah. Well, I'm further away from the camera.
You sure are.
Do you think?
What was your question again?
Yeah.
Do you think the ad was bullshit? Do you think the Tandy was never better than the IBM?
Well, they're overcompensating hard. Now, there's also a question coming in from the chat for you, Mark. Catherine wants to know if you're standing up right now.
Is Mark standing up?
Mark also misspelled, because we know that your name is spelled M-A-R-Q.
Yeah.
The Q stands for question.
What do you think, Mark?
What do I think about? I like the question a lot. I appreciate the question. I think it shows.
I want you to answer your question.
Mine?
Yes.
I think the Tandys were probably great. I think their key selling point sounds like that they're going to be there for you to answer questions if you have difficulties.
Well, it's like a lot of these computers, the selling point is you can put your budget and taxes together. And there's some little video games.
But what's interesting about this commercial, on that note, is that their claim was never that it's better than the IBM, but that it can do as much as an IBM, but for half the price. Now, what was interesting to me about that claim is that they were throwing out one of these more expensive IBM computers that does exactly as much and replacing it with a cheaper but equal Tandy computer. But why replace it at all if they're equivalent?
You get better. No, it's not that you replace it. It's that if they're moving their office to computers, because it's that time, right? It's like we gotta put computers into our offices. Then they should be buying Tandys because they're going to be able to get way more for less, and the people are going to be talking. They're going to get great service from a company that cares.
I mean, I'm sold.
Yeah.
That explanation.
Should we?
I think we've got time for one final commercial.
Oh goodness.
Let's make it count.
Now, for the power computer user who demands performance, Radio Shack introduces the Tandy 3000, the more powerful and more affordable IBM PC AT compatible. Here's the power to manage your business, utilize computer networking, or create a multi-user system. The Tandy 3000, the power to put you in command. Tandy, clearly superior. In business, for business. Only at Radio Shack Computer Center.
Okay. Was that a real curtain? Or was it like a wall that made to look like a curtain?
I took it as kind of a futuristic divider.
Yeah, I think for a lot of these higher end Tandy computer commercials, they add a lot of effects to make it seem like the computers are very capable of futuristic calculations.
And I think moving forward, for however long we feature this man, I'll be referring to him as the Tandy Man.
The Tandy Man can.
Now,
Don't say that 3 times.
Yeah, I don't want to get into trouble tonight and have this guy throw my Mac in the garbage. I know I mentioned we had time for one more, but I feel like we got to see this final one. It's festive, and I have a sneaking suspicion we might have to spot the difference again.
Oh, no, this is not going to be an elf. That doesn't look like the elves.
Let's find out. Was that the first difference?
It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas.
Oh, I remember that Christmas. Dad gave me my first shortwave radio from Radio Shack. What memories. This Christmas, we got our son's Color Computer 3 from Radio Shack. It hooks right up to our TV and was on sale for less than $130. The Color Computer 3 makes learning fun. Jimmy even lets me use it for word process when he isn't playing computer games. Lucky I still got my shortwave.
Save $70 on the sale-priced Color Computer 3, only at Radio Shack.
Okay. What
So
shortwave?
This one was definitely different. No elves, no pot of gold, no feet.
Shortwave radio?
He was saying that he used to have a shortwave radio. That was his sort of toy.
That's what his
that he
father got him.
Yeah. Back in the old black and white days.
Now I thought the video game looked pretty good.
No.
Well, for the time.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, but it doesn't compare to the games these days.
Yeah, it's true. It would be tough to compare that video game to the video game these days.
I mean, have you played Assassin's Creed?
No.
It's different.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Will you play them both on a screen?
I suppose you're right.
And they're meant to be a fun way to pass time. You have to use a controller, and I assume with the name Assassin's Creed, it would feature shooting and a gun, and that game also had shooting and a gun and jumping.
James, you're wrong. Assassin's Creed doesn't have guns in it.
What does it have?
Daggers.
Doesn't it depend? Like, are you talking about the first Assassin's Creed?
Any of them.
Are you talking about any of them?
Any of them.
There must be a musket in one.
Oh yeah, there's muskets. My bad.
Or like an arquebus.
You know what, James? You're right. You make really good points. Those games are the same.
Yeah.
What now, Mark? What did you think of that Christmas commercial? It featured some animation, the reindeer off the top.
I really like the guy's delivery of his first line.
Yeah, very deep, very baritone.
Oh
very
no,
festive.
Yeah, that was good, but I'm talking.
You mean
about
the dad?
The dad, like
yeah, the dad was good, and I thought the mom was really beautiful.
Let's check it out.
Yeah,
again.
right up your alley.
I gave you my first shortwave radio from Radio Shack. What memories.
He sounds drunk.
Because it kind of sounds like, he sounds kind of drunk. Like, I remember my dad gave me my first shortwave radio. Oh, man.
Well, I think he sounds sentimental. Maybe he's holding back tears. Let's hear it again.
Computer Center.
It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas.
Oh, I remember that Christmas. Dad gave me my first shortwave radio from Radio Shack. What memories.
You know, it sounds like that he has dentures and he's holding his teeth in together.
I remember that Christmas.
Radio Shack.
I remember that Christmas.
I remember that
shortwave
Christmas.
radio.
Well,
What
look, I
memories.
mean, the holidays are a time for reflection.
Sorry, James. Why don't we go around and each try to do this guy's...
All right, let's hear it again one more time.
Can we hear it one more time?
Yeah.
Radio Shack Computer Center.
It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas.
Oh, I remember that Christmas. Dad gave me my first shortwave radio from Radio Shack. What memories. This Christmas, we got our...
Hey, Mark, you want to go first?
Did you say lucky memories at the end?
Wow. I remember that Christmas. My dad gave me my first shortwave radio. What memories?
No, I think it's... Well, I remember that Christmas. My dad gave me my first shortwave radio from Radio Shack. What memories?
No, he said what memories?
That's what I just said.
You guys are both close, but
okay.
It's more like this.
Well, I remember that Christmas. My dad gave me my first shortwave radio. What memories?
Dave absolutely nailed it.
Yeah, nailed it. You got
Dave,
kiss.
you officially get my kiss for the night.
Yes.
Well, that's going to bring us to the end of tonight's part 2 of a radio.
I keep pausing it. Who gets to rub their hands through Mark's goatee?
Well, I think that one was awarded in the chat. I think Catherine gets that one.
Perfect. I'm writing it down.
Now, that's been the second part of our Radio Shack retrospective. Dave, how far are we into this video?
We are 32 minutes and 3 seconds into a 2 hour and 5 minute and 42 second video. So we covered about 12 minutes of content today.
Okay, so it takes us about 2 full episodes per 30 minutes.
That's the average pace that we're at.
Okay, so we're looking at 8 episodes, which means there's 6 weeks to go.
That's right. And we might need to do a little mini episode to get the last 5 minutes.
Yep. Mark, how do you feel about tonight's episode? You're back after a bit of a hiatus.
Yeah, I'd say I feel refreshed, James.
Now, if you're just tuning in, this is not a Zoom background that Mark has got. Mark is in a room in his home. Mark, can you touch some of your surroundings to indicate that this is real? Yeah. Well, guys, we've done it again. Any final thoughts for our audience? Mark, let's start with you.
Thoughts for the audience?
Yeah,
any
parting words?
Well, thank you for having me in your home.
Naturally.
And enjoy the nostalgia.
Well, I'm sure that the audience would be thanking you for letting them into your home. Dave, let's go to you. Final thoughts for the audience tonight.
I've enjoyed spending this time with all of you, reminiscing over a store that has since sold all their assets and had their Twitter taken over by a maniac, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, but we featured that last week. So if you are not following Radio Shack on Twitter, we'd encourage you to do so. Folks, we've done it. That's our show tonight. Who knows? Perhaps, just maybe, there will be a surprise episode this week. I make no promises, but please keep your eyes peeled to our incredibly crappy Instagram account. We are at Home with James on Instagram. Until then, we will most certainly be back a week from tonight. That I can assure you. That's Mark. That's Dave. I am James. You are you. We were here. Good night, goodbye, farewell, and be well.